Hey everyone, Leanne Pilkington here for the latest edition of Courageous Conversations. And with me today is one of my girlfriends from high school, if you can even believe it, Alyssa Morley. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, Leanne.
Yeah, awesome to see you. Now, Liz and I went away on the weekend with a group of girls from school. Yes, we still hang out. And we were having a bit of a conversation. In fact, I did what I have done to some of you in the past. Alyssa was talking about her need to do some more social media, and I went, "Oh, Facebook Live, that's really easy." And I got my phone out and went, "Here we go, let's do it now." And to her absolute horror, that's exactly what we did.
It's all right. I went with it though.
Yes, you did. It was good. It was good.
It was good. It was good.
And so it got me thinking that Liz has got a really interesting story. So I wanted to share that with all of you. So you were in a corporate, big corporate job, big salary, all of that sort of stuff. Tell us a little bit about what you used to do.
Okay, so I guess I did corporate procurement for 25 years. I fell into procurement, as a lot of procurement people tend to do so.
And so for those who are not in corporate roles, what does somebody who's in procurement do?
Okay, so procurement is strategic purchasing. So it's about leveraging spend, managing suppliers, end-to-end supply chain, working with internal stakeholders within the business. There's a little bit of compliance, so you become a little bit of a fun police kind of person, which nobody likes.
No.
And there's a whole lot of stress levels that come with that as well. And it's just really working with suppliers and contracts and lots of KPIs, all that sort of stuff. So
and so it was a big job. You worked for some really high profile businesses,
fantastic blue chip companies,
big global businesses.
Yeah, so GSK, I worked for Pharma, Baxter Healthcare, Diageo, which was
we loved it when you were with Diageo.
Well, yeah, I know. And my husband was working for George Weston at the time, so we reckon we had the two staple food groups.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Liz used to. We used to make our own cocktails, and Liz was.
Yes, and always bring the booze.
Absolutely. And so you got sick. You got really sick. How long ago was that?
So I was diagnosed June 2016.
With?
And it was just a breast screen.
Yep.
Routine mammogram. And so that was May 20. I'm sorry, you know what I'm like with dates, Leanne. I remember dates.
I do, yeah.
And so that's May 20. I went in for a second kind of mammogram, which was the 7th of June, diagnosed on the 10th of June, and started chemo on the 24th of June, 2016. And so I went through the whole chemo palaver, which opened up a whole new world, because it's like you don't know what you don't know, and then I end up having a double mastectomy.
And you were very private about that, about your diagnosis as well, weren't you?
Yeah. I kind of. If I've got some great news, I'd love to share it, but otherwise I kind of keep my cards close to my chest a little bit.
Yep.
But there was a couple of the girls from our group which kind of supported me, which was great. Yep. And so I had that. And then in 2017, my husband and I went and did our kind of celebration trip, and we did Europe. And then I'd also had a lot of issues with my hands. So in September 2017, I quit my then corporate job, which was with Canon, who were big call out, amazing and very supportive. And
they supported you throughout your illness.
They was absolutely amazing. And my boss, bless his heart, who's no longer there, was absolutely amazing, and again very, very supportive. And so I had a few hand operations, as you do. And I spoke to Michael, my husband, and I just said, you know what, I hadn't really been happy in the corporate gig for a few years. The money was great, but I wasn't truly happy. And I think when you go through that life experience and you go, okay, well, what's really going to make me happy? And you know, what am I good at other than procurement, which I thought I was actually pretty good at that job.
Yeah.
So with my support of my husband, and luckily I did actually have trauma cover.
Okay.
Some trauma cover, and that actually enabled me to support myself. And I enrolled into Le Cordon Bleu cooking school, and I did my certificate in patisserie. And so that started January 2018, and I graduated May 19. So then I set up Alyssa's Kitchen, and I've been doing cakes ever since. COVID.
I know that we look really young, but you were.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. You were post 50, right? When you went back and studied.
Yes. I was 56.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So how did you make that decision? And how scared? I guess you were lucky.
I'm such a low risk taker. You know, that's part of the procurement gig. You know, it's all about compliance and risk management and all that sort of thing. And I was absolutely petrified. I'm thinking, what if I fail? And Michael just said, well, what if you do great? And so I kind of had to. I guess it's. I'd always been confident, so I guess it's kind of like once you've got those qualifications and I'd always been a good cook, but it was about honing those technical skills. So once I did that, it was kind of like reinforcing the belief system, going, well, hang on a minute, I'm actually pretty good at this. So and also Michael support. I couldn't have done it without Michael.
Yeah.
Being very supportive, but definitely the trauma cover that without that financially I probably couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But it was also just about taking a bit of a leap of faith in myself. And you know, yes, I'm not making at this point in time the money that I used to, but my God, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
Unless a cake's going wrong and then there's a few expletives from the kitchen. But not the stress levels are not impacting my health and my well-being like it used to.
And so you think that a number of your health problems were as a result of stress?
Well, they've actually, when we used to go to the posh centre and listen to the oncologist, there's actually evidence that stress doesn't cause breast cancer. I'll call just breast cancer out in this instance because I don't know about the others. But I always think there's always a contributing factor.
Sure.
You know? Because stress also affects your immune system, and you know, and having have a diploma in botanical medicine, so it's kind of I think there's some elements to it, but I think more about energies as opposed to stress equals cancer. You know, I think that there's just a whole lot of energies that then build up in our bodies, but you know that's a whole lot of other philosophy. A whole lot of different conversation. That one.
Absolutely. We need a line for that one.
Or two.
Exactly. And so Alyssa's Kitchen. Tell us about what Alyssa's Kitchen.
Okay, so Alyssa's Kitchen, as I said, I set that up March 19. Graduated at Le Cordon Bleu in May 19, and actually. A Whisk Award, got one one of the awards that was out in our classes, which
fantastic.
I felt very privileged about, and the teachers there were just amazing and really supportive. And I got a girlfriend who's a graphic designer, and she organised, she did my logo and kind of built the business. And it's kind of I wanted to be professional and polished, and but at the same time, from a customer service perspective, I want to be incredibly flexible. I pride myself that I do quick turnarounds. don't love the quick turnarounds, but I will also go out of my way, because I think sometimes, having worked also in some establishments where they make product, it's kind of like, well, this is the matrix, and nothing kind of is flexible outside that. And I kind of go, well, especially with food intolerances and allergies, I think it's really important.
It is important. And so you're specialising in cakes, is that right?
I do specialise in cakes, but I also make desserts as well. I'm pretty, but I mean,
And you don't have a sweet tooth. I find that hilarious.
No.
Because you and I are always the ones that go,
oh God, thank God, I'd probably be the size of a house if I was.
Right, well, you and I are always the ones that want the chippies when the girls go away.
The chippies and the cheese.
Not the chocolates and the lollies.
No. Well, I remember I had those snakes on Saturday night going, whoa, sugar. I haven't had for a while.
And so just give us, you're just saying to me that you're working on a cake at the moment. Just give us a bit of an idea of what it takes to put together, because I will include a link to your Insta page and Facebook and whatever else you have in this podcast, so people can have a look at what you do.
Yeah.
But just talk us through, at the moment you're making a cake. So tell us about what you're making and how long that sort of stuff takes.
Okay, so I've got a friend who's her father is having his 80th in Mudgee.
Nice.
And he's got his own wine label. So she thought, well, okay, let's do a wine theme. And first of all, we're going to do the barrel, and then I kind of looked at a few things, and I said, okay, well, why don't we do a crate and have a bottle in a crate? So she said, well, look, I trust your judgment, Liz. It's all good. And so we're doing a red velvet. So that's going to be about 36 by 18. And then, of course, then you've got to I usually put it into 3 layers. So then you've got to make the buttercream, and then you've got to what we call crumb coat, and then put another layer on. And then what I've done today, because usually got to do a few days in advance so things dry. So I've made a fondant bottle for the first stage of that, and then I did the sides of the crate that will surround the cake. So then on Thursday, I'll put the label, which is edible fondant, which I print out with my printer with edible ink.
Oh, wow.
That on. And then on the Friday morning, I'll assemble all that, put out some more fondant around the box or the crate, the fondant crate, fondant gym. I've already painted the 80 numbers, which will go in there as well. Then I've got to toast.
So how many hours is this beautiful cake going to take you?
So all up, probably about 10.
Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of work, isn't it?
A lot of work.
And not at your normal hourly rate, I'm guessing.
No, it's not the same rate as I used to get paid in corporate.
So tell me, how did you worry about losing your identity? Because I don't know about you, but I'm very connected to what I do. And, if I wasn't MD at Lang & Simmons, who would I be? And I don't know, you get very connected to that.
Yeah, I do. And it is a very, very different world.
Yeah.
And when you have a certain position, and look, I'll use the word power for want of a better word.
Sure, I love the power, don't you?
Yeah. And when you've kind of had that and responsibility, especially when I was working for Baxter and I headed up procurement and I was working with the global teams and all that sort of thing, you do have more of an identity. And I think also because of social media, because I remember when I first started procurement gig, there was no digital. No. There was, above the line, below the line, and that was about it. There was no experiential, there was no through the line, there was all that stuff. So it is about reinventing yourself a little bit, and it's about finding yourself in a much, much, much bigger pond. there's a lot more entrepreneurs. There's a lot more people that have their own businesses, and then there's the social media element. So there's like they say, what they say, is it clutter? Is that one?
Lots of noise.
Noise,
Lots of noise,
yeah. So it's that's and I work and I'm at home a lot on my own.
Yeah.
I actually don't mind my own company, and I have my cat, which I occasionally have to most of the time lock him out in the study while I'm doing cakes anyway. It's cat area.
Cakes and cats don't mix.
Really good combo. But and I don't mind it, but I must admit, especially with the weekend, I mean, I so enjoyed that because I literally have not been away at the house since before March.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are in that exact situation at the moment. It's unusual.
Although I say I was in ISO before ISO existed because I'd kind of been on my own, and there's a lot of people out there in the where they work from home, they're on their own, and I think I actually think we're more connected now through Zoom and webinars and all that sort of thing, more than what we were before.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I feel quite as isolated now, which is hugely ironic.
Yeah.
This is pre-COVID. I felt probably a lot more isolated.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, because I guess the rest of the world wasn't too worried about you being isolated. We were busy doing our own thing, whereas now we're all isolated. We've kind of worked around it.
Yeah.
To everybody's benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're all doing it really well.
Oh, yeah, I definitely think we're incredibly resilient. Actually,
there was a thing on LinkedIn this morning. I forget the name. Might be Adam Grant, but there was it was called Option B, and it was about building resilience.
Oh, okay. I'll search for it.
Yeah.
All right, my beautiful friends. Well, I'm going to let you go back to making your cake.
Yes, you indeed. I'm going to do some bunny ears now.
All right then. All right, you take care.
Thank you so much. All right, gorgeous.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.